All right, you all come in. Let's get this live stream out the way. I didn't feel like I could go to sleep if I didn't do this live stream. I didn't feel like I could sleep peacefully anyway. So come in, you all. Let's hit that like and share button. I thought it was very interesting or interesting, whichever way you want me to say it, with Bill Russell, his death today. So really wanted to look at his numbers. I wanted to look at the gematria. I do have some background music on. Let me know if that's too loud. Someone let me know. Let me adjust this volume with the background music, but that's just in order to help me um, kind of meditate and relax a little bit. As you can see, I just left the gym, so I just have some nighttime clothing on. And the number 11 championship rings, um, condolences goes out to his family and all of the fans of the late, great Bill Russell. But again, the 11 championship rings, if you've been following me for any amount of time, um, definitely sparked the interest with me. And the double 88, right? Not really looking at the championship of 13 years of Boston, not really breaking down the number 13, but I did specifically look at the 11 championships in 13 years and the number 88. So you all come in, that's the age of his death. Hit that like and share button. And Bill Russell, legendary Celtics center and NBA coach, dies at the age of 88. So, years after he stepped away from the game of basketball, Bill Russell, right, complicated relationship with the city where he spent his career, continued to burn so deeply he decided to skip his induction into the Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield, Massachusetts. And another interesting thing about the great Bill Russell, let me adjust this, is that he was the number six as well. The number six as well. Again, 11 championships in all, right? The last one with the Lakers, and he died today at the double 88. So let's get in and let's break down his gematria. Again, you all hit the thumbs up and share the live stream. This is him pictured with his wife, very young wife, looking wife. But 11 and 88, that's what I'm going to focus on this live stream. Someone give me a sound check. Let me know. Let me fix my shirt. Let me know how the sound is. Give me a sound check as I bring up my gematria calculator. I did not really see anything in the name itself, but we're going to look at that, break it down together, the breaking down of his name. But we are going to talk about 11 and a double 88. What does that mean? 11 and a double 88. So his jersey number, number six, also mentioned. I'm going to focus on the number six as well, but you can see the 66 and the 33 code in the English ordinal and full reduction also. You can see this is composed of 11 letters and two words, all equal to 141. The number six again, that's related to his jersey number is coming up again. And 11 letters in this. the double L twice, the double S one. So we're seeing doubles in this three times, double the Trinity in the doubles. And again, it's 6633. 33 is the number of illumination. The number of, thank you, sound is great. Hey, Latasha, she's rocking with me twice today. The number of the age of Christ's death when he was illuminated or transformed out of his physical body into a spiritual form. And so breaking down number 88, because I do have my background music on just a little bit, so I want to make sure it wasn't too loud. So breaking down the number 88, let's see what volume I had it on. In the Bible, David was the eighth child, right? The eighth child. Um, Let me get a sip of this. 88 also is the upside down infinity twice. I mean, the infinity sign twice. So the number 88 does draw a number of influence to it. On the seventh day, right? If we look at Genesis 2 and 2, I'll probably pull that up. Let me pull up Genesis 2 and 2. You'll see that 8 was the number of new beginnings. But oftentimes, what is left out about the number 8 in new beginnings is that it's also the transition from an old thing that's cycling into a new thing, right? So Genesis 2 and 2 shows that Christ rested on the seventh day. Number 7 is the number. Give me a second. I am thirsty. Forget. I just left the gym, you all. So when we add the numbers 7 and 8, the number 7 is the day, the Sabbath day, the day of rest, the day of ending things within the natural realm, right? In the natural realm, that begins a new cycle into the number 8. So Genesis 2 and 2, this is where we see the double 22, that God ended his work that he had made and he rested on the seventh day. So the number 8 is the breaking down of an old to begin a new thing, right? The breaking down, which I think definitely, right, represents the era, the legendary of Bill Russell. Um, as far as this economy goes, and as far as what's going to happen and transpire on this earth realm. So the number 7 is associated with the alignment of the real and the spiritual world, right? The real impact in the real work. The moment where your good actions and decisions you've taken can also have good consequences. So when we add the number 8 plus 8, you have 16, and then 6 plus 1 equals 7. So 1 is the number of creation, is the number of beginning, Genesis 1 and 1. In the beginning, Elohim, which is plural for God's created, right? So we have the number of creation added to the number 7, which is alignment of the real and spiritual world. So you have beginning creations all happen, right? Trey says he won 11 championships, 7 plus 3 plus 1 equals 11. That's good observation. And on today, Trey, I didn't even bring that out. It's 7:31. Great observation, Trey. Thank you for helping me teach this. I love that. Very great observation. Died on 7:31. So I want people to know that numbers mean something. I think my Let me adjust this volume. It's a little loud on my end now. I think the rhythm changed. Numbers mean something. So the number 88 draws an influence. Again, the eighth son of Jesse, David. David was a harp player for the king, and David shortly became king himself. And actually, the number 88 represents that the moment that Jesus Christ was named after 8 days of circumcision. Circumcision happened, and Jesus Christ was named exactly 8 days. Now, the double 88, the infinity sign, the double success, it is a representation of hard work and success, right? Um, no one, let me say it this way, that you need to work hard and you need to work smart to achieve the success that you desire. I know Bill Russell was a great representation of that. Most people, especially in religion, they just think everything should come easy. Right? I was on a phone conversation with my friend girl. We were discussing this. They don't think they should have many responsibilities, if any at all. They think, for example, that they can throw money into a gold offering plate and all of their troubles supposed to go away. Right? Um, But the number 88 is a sign that you are supposed to be in alignment with your higher self, right? I broke down the 7 plus 1 is the alignment of the real world and the spiritual world. Genesis 1 and 1, right? Representation of the beginning of the creation. So being in alignment with your higher self. Now, the double 88 can also be representative of abundance coming to you as a new beginning is happening, and the 8 day represented the breaking down of the old to represent the new. However, the double 88 also applies to the law of karma. What you put in is what you receive. Now, I'm teaching a whole lot better than you all are giving me comments. The double 88 represents what you put in is what you will receive in life. What you put in is what you receive. Bill Russell was the epitome. He was a great example of not just a hard worker as a basketball player on the court, but a thinker, because he won some championships both as a player and a coach, dual. And then we see the double 88 and the 11, 1 and 1, right? As 7 plus 1 is 8. So the law of karma, again, karma is whatever energy you put out is the energy you will receive. So pay attention, right, to the energy right now that you're putting out in the earth realm, in the universe, especially during this time, because I don't think you all know that this is the season of Saturn. Saturn, right? Also, many correlate that with the name Satan, Saturn, Satan, that karma is real strong during this season. That whatever people put out, or as the Bible says, that what you reap, you shall also sow, it will come back to you in boomerang. So we have the double 11, right? As we broke down the double 22, and the number 6 which is his jersey number. The number 6 is the number of both man and wild beasts. So be very careful about your karma during this season. So double 88 is also a master number from like 11, 22, and 88. 11, 22, those are master numbers, right? So just like Genesis 11, a new frequency Be careful of your energy, your frequency. The people were on one accord, and we have the number one, and they had one mind on one accord, right? And they were of one language. So we see 1, 1, 1, 1 all through Genesis 11. So as you see the double 11 going on, right, it gives you both a sign and a warning that change is going to come. Change is coming. It's the double 11. And if you even if you look at numbers 11, it is a sign of transition, just like the number 7. On the seventh day, Genesis 2 and 2, God rested, the double 22. It transitioned into the 8, the infinity sign. So the 1111 is a sign of transition, people. And I think yeah. Um, the number 11 was the first number to represent the Trinity. And I can have some difference of opinion about what the King James Bible says the Trinity, but I won't get into that, right? 11 is the number to have greater significance, especially when it's double, right? Um, some people that were born on 11/11 may feel lucky or special, but I actually, November, right? Um, October is the 8th month. November is really the 9th month. I know in the Gregorian calendar, it shows November as the 11th month, but when we look at the Hebrew Greek calendar, November really is the 9th month. October, just like the word octopus, September, 7, August, and this is powerful as it's one day. His Gematria is actually one day until 8/1, which is tomorrow. 8/1, which is tomorrow, right? And so, with that being said, August is really 6. The 6. When you look at the Hebrew Greek calendar, he was the number 6, right? So again, 6 is both the number of man and wild beast. On the 6th day, God created man and wild beast. That simply means that all of us have that reptilian part of our brain. When people tell you, I was in beast mode, that's the lower part of your brain. That's the yin and the yang. You have the reptilian part of your brain, and then the pituitary, the pineal gland, the higher part, right? And so 11 represents divine transition, right? Um, it means, as 9/11 means or meant, it was disaster at the same time, but at the same time, it was a wealth transfer, as millions of gold and silver was found under the number 11. So it's a transitional part. It's Genesis 11, being in tap of a frequency or wanting to be on a higher frequency. It represents a time of revelation to awaken you, right? Um, and just like the number 8, to awaken to your higher self. When 9/11 happened, people were awakened, right? When that happened, they were awakened. And so it offers the opportunities for you to reach your higher level of spiritual development, right? It represents a wake up call, in other words. The master number, because of its significance, self mastery, an awakening. Um, okay, here we go. Here we go. Genesis 11:11. Let me show you that. If I was a preacher, a person that was trying to get real deep with this, I would say, thank you, Holy Spirit, and they speak in tongues and do all that. But I prefer to teach on a very explanatory level where I'm not all on my live streams and speaking in tongues and all that. To awaken, John 11:11 says, "Our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep, but I go to wake him up." Very, very powerful. The meaning 11 can symbolize disorder, chaos, and judgment, right? Um, 10 represents law and responsibility. 11 represents the opposite. Again, refer to Genesis 11 also, right? A rebellion against God, and they built the Tower of Babel. He judged them by confusing their language, resulting in chaos. One of the last kings, for example, to rule over Judah for 11 years was in the Bible, and Je- Jehoiakim was his name, right? And so it's represents the irresponsibility of breaking the law. hmm And so when you see that, the um, the Apostle John also in the Bible, he saw 11 things in connection with the final judgment in Revelation chapter 20, right? The Dead Sea Scrolls was discovered in 11 caves, right? The total number of fragments, the 11 caves that the Dead Sea Scrolls, right? Um, and so again, that judgment, but also a transfer of wealth, as 8 infinity represents or can represent abundance as well, right? It represents promises. I can really break down the Gospel of John and the 11 promises, but I don't really feel like doing it tonight. So, um, but one of the last promises that John found was in John 15, right? Can I show you all this as well? I get a little excited, but I try not to get too excited when I'm doing this late. Let me show you this as well. I just showed you John 11:11 means to awaken. But let me show you one of the last promises that John found out of the 11. And this is actually from John 15 and 14, which equals 11, right? This is the last promises out of the 11 that John found. And this is the NIV version. And it says the last promises is that a person can be Christ's friend if they obey him. Right? I can show you in John, all another promise is in John 15 and 5 is those who abide in Jesus will be fruitful, right? Right? So, um, just a lot of things with 11:11. Or Jesus was about 33 years old again, a multiple of 11 when he died. And so, the 11th book, right, of the Bible is First Kings. So, I really like to read First Kings 1 through 11, right? Um, First King 1 through 11 also was the 11th book, and it represents a lot of promises or transitional times as well. Moses was commanded to make 11 curves in the tabernacle for the wilderness. That's not in First Kings 11, but I'm just throwing it out there. some things about the 11. So 11 is a spiritual awakening. It's a wake up call. It's pretty much a warning, a forewarning. It's a sign, along with 8, infinity sign of a wealth transfer as well. So pay attention to your karma right now. Pay attention to what you are putting out in the universe. Be vigilant about what you are putting out, right? It can be a sign that abundance and wealth is coming to your life if you are in alignment with yourself. If you are aligned, or you are in alignment with the 7 plus 8, which is the real and the spiritual world, right? And you may not be expecting for riches or abundance, but expect happiness. However, that's if you do the right things, sow the right seeds, and make the right decisions. Again, the 8th son of Jesse was David, and he himself became kings. So people under the influence of the double 88 will get what they deserve, whether it's good or bad. So pay very much attention to your karma right now. As the Bible says, as a man soweth, he shall also reap. So 88, just like the double 11, is a sign of transition and judgment. And people, that's what makes this so powerful. 11 plus 8, 88, is that it's associated with final judgment. If you look at most verses, most of the 8 verses of the 8 chapters in the Bible, it has a way to do with final judgment. Let me look at and give me a second. Let me find this verse. 8:8. And I'm going to end, because for me this has been a great live stream. I don't know if it did anything for you all, but it's definitely, again, you got the double 66, the double 33 in the name Bill Russell. His name within itself is 11 letters, right? 11 letters. And again, let's end on this, Luke 8 and 8, right? I've shown you John 11:11. I referenced Genesis 11 and Numbers 11 as a transitional sign and awakening. Also 11 as a wealth transfer and abundance. But watch your actions and deeds, because this is also the season of Saturn, which is translated to the name of Satan. Whatever you're putting out in this universe is going to come back fast and like a boomerang. This is Luke 8 and 8. And other fell on good ground and sprang up and bare fruit 100-fold. And when he heard these things, he cried, he that ears has ears to hear, let him hear. If you plant good seeds, good ground, I'm not just talking about spiritual, emotionally, I'm talking about with your finances as well, right? You can, or you should not expect a financial breakthrough when you're not making smart, intelligent money decisions at this time. That which you sow, also you will reap. And oftentimes we ask, why do good things or why do bad things happen to good people? Well, we don't know if that person was good or not. What you may see on the outer appearance looks like someone that's good, but you don't know how that person is behind closed doors, or in their private times, or who they may be in private, and they may be a different person. Who they may be in public, but they may be a different person in private. So Romans 8 and 8 also says, again, that if you are in the flesh, if you're not led by the Spirit, if you're not being led in the spiritual realm, that those who that are in the flesh, you cannot please God. And then it goes back to John 15 and 14 about if you obey Him, right? If you obey God, that you will be His friends, right? He'll be your friend, right? So that's it. I still got, I'm trying to make sure I cover everything, all my scriptures and everything. You all know I do it based off biblical things. Um, Reclaiming, recovery. Let's look at Isaiah 11:11. That in that day the Lord will reach out His hand a second time to reclaim the surviving remnant of His people. So this is Isaiah 11:11, and people, judgment is coming upon the United States as well, right? Judgment has to come upon the United States, and if a lot of people are not prepared for this wealth transfer, unfortunately, they are not going to be prepared to receive it. For example, you can't just quote scriptures, right, that says the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just, and you're not even investing in things that the wicked are investing in. Because we know faith without the right corresponding action, which is what the word works transfer to. Faith without works are dead. Faith without the right corresponding action is dead. And so that's it. I think that's all I have from the double 88 and the number 6. Again, do your good karma. And I think I got one more scripture I kind of want to share. Good things will happen to those who are prepared. Those who are prepared. I want to share this with you. This was on my mind too. We have exactly 110 people on. Make sure you all hit that thumbs up. Exodus 3:17, 7 plus 3 is 10, plus 1 is 11. And I have promised to bring you up out of your misery into Egypt, to the land of the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivitites, Jebusites, a land flowing with milk and honey. Right? A land, a good land. Milk and honey represents a mixture in your brain, in a pituitary part of your brain that's released once a month. It's a special gift from God. So you need to do your own research about the power of the human body, knowing how your body functions, knowing the crystals that's released. But I'm gonna stay on topic because I can go on and on and on and go into this. But people, that's it. We're in transitional time, season of transition. There will be abundance, but there will be poverty as well. Your actions, you tap into your higher spiritual being and making the right decisions, as 7 represents the spiritual and the earth realm, is very important and imperative at this time. Right? So that's the Gematria and try again. I'm going to put up there 731st, 7 plus 3 plus 1 is 11, 11 championships, double 88. Um, Rest in power, Mr. Bill Russell. You all have a great, great night. Queen out.